Today, we'll dive into an exciting horror fantasy movie about a dangerous witch who lures children with promises and takes them away. She makes them tell her stories every day, and if she doesn't like the story, she turns them into toys. The movie begins with Alex, a boy who loves drawing and writing stories. Because of this unusual passion, no one befriends him. However, something happens to Alex one day that changes everything. He decides to burn all his stories and leaves his house without informing his parents. He gets into the elevator of his apartment building and starts going down. Suddenly, the elevator stops. When Alex steps out, he realizes he has entered a completely different place. He finds a room with a TV playing a horror movie, which immediately catches his attention. As he enters the room to watch the movie, he notices a cake on the table. He eats the cake, but soon after, he faints. When Alex wakes up, he finds himself in another unfamiliar room. Feeling scared, he calls for his parents, but there's no one around. He tries to escape the room, but his attempts are in vain. Suddenly, he hears a terrifying voice asking for his name. Alex nervously answers, and the next moment, a horrifying witch appears in front of him. The witch asks Alex what he can offer her because, as she explains, she kills children who are of no use to her. Desperate to save his life, Alex tells the witch he can draw and write stories. This catches her interest, as she loves horror stories. She agrees to spare his life on one condition. Alex must tell her a story every night. If he ever fails to tell a story, she will kill him. After laying down her terms, the witch leaves. Soon after, Alex notices something strange, a creepy cat sitting in the room. Alex tries to approach it affectionately, but the cat suddenly attacks him. Startled, Alex throws the cat away, but it vanishes into thin air, leaving him bewildered. As Alex explores further, he discovers that the door he had entered through earlier is now replaced by a wall. Feeling trapped, Alex begins plotting his escape. He secretly watches a door that the witch uses to enter and decides to use it to escape. However, as soon as he approaches the door, it vanishes, replaced by yet another wall. At that moment, the witch appears and warns Alex that he cannot leave without her permission. Hearing this, Alex feels disheartened and returns to his room. Suddenly, a girl appears in front of him. Startled, Alex asks who she is. The girl calms him and introduces herself as Yazmin. She reveals that the witch had abducted her in a similar way, and since then, she has been forced to do the witch's bidding. As they talk, objects in the room begin to fall. Yazmin warns Alex that it's the witch's cat, a spy that keeps an eye on them at all times. Alex then asks Yazmin where they are, but she explains that the house keeps traveling to different parts of the world to abduct children, so it's impossible to know their exact location. Yazmin takes Alex to a massive library filled with millions of storybooks. Seeing so many books, Alex is overwhelmed with joy. What happens next? Will Alex outsmart the witch, or will he fall victim to her sinister plans? Stay tuned as we unravel the rest of this gripping tale. Yazmin tells Alex that the witch has already heard all the stories from the books in the library. She warns him that if he wants to survive, he must quickly write a new story because the witch will demand one from him tonight. Yazmin leaves, and as night falls, the witch summons Alex to tell her a story. Before listening, the witch applies a peculiar perfume and then sits down, ready to be entertained. Alex begins narrating a horror story, but its ending turns out to be happy. This angers the witch, and she starts attacking Alex. In a moment of desperation, Alex quickly changes the ending of the story to something dark and tragic, which calms the witch. She warns Alex that no story he tells her should ever have a happy ending. She then inspects his notebook and asks if he wrote the story today. Alex, trying to think quickly, tells her that he couldn't write anything because it's hard to concentrate when someone is standing over his shoulder. Hearing this, the witch suspects that Yazmin may have disturbed Alex and punishes her. Alex intervenes and tells the witch that it wasn't Yazmin's fault and promises that it won't happen again. Reluctantly, the witch spares Yazmin and leaves. Alex returns to the library to brainstorm new story ideas, but struggles to come up with anything. While exploring the upper section of the library, he finds some very old books. Inside one of these books, he discovers a message left by another child who had been trapped by the witch. The message reads, I have to do whatever the witch says. There are others like me here. Before Alex can read further, Yazmin arrives, and he quickly hides the book. Curious, Alex asks Yazmin how the witch managed to capture her. Yazmin reveals that her grandmother used to make a special dish for her. One night, she smelled the same dish being prepared and went to find her grandmother. However, it wasn't her grandmother. It was the witch in disguise. As night falls, Alex tells another story to the witch. Whenever Alex makes mistakes in the story, the witch corrects him, revealing her knowledge and experience. This cycle continues for several nights, and in the meantime, Alex keeps searching the library for more messages from other children. One day, Yazmin takes Alex to the witch's nursery, which is filled with magical vines and plants. She confesses that she made a mistake by feeding rats blood to one of the plants instead of firefly nectar. As a result, the plant has started growing strange eggs, and if even one egg breaks, the entire nursery could be destroyed. Yazmin fears the witch will kill her if this happens and asks Alex for help. Yazmin carefully hands Alex one of the eggs, but as she steps back, she slips on the stairs, causing an egg to break. From the broken egg emerges a terrifying creature, which starts knocking over the other eggs on the vine. Alex and Yazmin act quickly, crushing the fallen eggs with their feet, but the creature wreaks havoc in the nursery. The witch's spy cat tries to capture the creature to save the nursery, but ends up getting trapped in a magical net. Alex and Yazmin search for the creature, but it seems to have disappeared. Suddenly, the creature ambushes Yazmin. She manages to escape its attack and runs toward the exit, but as Alex watches, he realizes that the creature is blocking her path. What happens next? Can Alex and Yazmin survive the wrath of the witch and her monstrous creation? Stay tuned as the thrilling story unfolds. Alex realizes that the creature he defeated had destroyed his storybook, leaving him without any stories to tell the witch. Panicked, he goes to the library to come up with new ideas, but struggles. Yazmin finds him and asks why he's so worried. Alex explains that the creature tore his book apart, and now he has no stories left. Yazmin reminds him that if he doesn't tell the witch a story tonight, he'll be in grave danger. She also reveals a chilling truth. The witch doesn't kill the children who fail to tell her stories. Instead, she turns them into toys. Yazmin takes Alex to a room filled with toys, revealing that these were once children who failed to please the witch. As Alex looks at the toys, he notices something odd. One child is missing. He recalls the girl with the horse necklace and deduces that she might have escaped. Excited by this discovery, Alex tells Yazmin that the girl left clues in the library books, and they just need to figure out how she managed to escape. Together, Alex and Yazmin search the library and eventually find a book containing a formula for a sleeping potion. They deduce that the girl must have used it to put the witch to sleep and steal the key to the door leading out of the house. Yazmin, skilled with potions, says she can prepare it, but is unsure how to neutralize its smell, which the witch would instantly recognize. Alex comes up with an idea. He'll write a story that deliberately includes a flawed version of the formula, knowing that the witch always corrects his mistakes. This way, she'll unknowingly reveal how to neutralize the potion's smell. That night, Alex begins telling his story to the witch. In the story, he intentionally misreads the part about the sleeping potion, describing an incorrect method. As expected, the witch interrupts and angrily corrects him, explaining the exact method to neutralize the smell. Alex listens carefully and stores the information in his memory. The witch, satisfied with the story's dark ending, lets Alex go for the night. The next day, Yazmin prepares the sleeping potion exactly as instructed by the witch. With the smell successfully neutralized, they plan their escape. Alex tells Yazmin they'll wait until the witch is asleep to slip the potion into her perfume, which she always applies before listening to his stories. As the plan unfolds, Alex and Yazmin anxiously wait for the potion to take effect. Once the witch falls into a deep sleep, they search her for the key. However, the witch's spy cat appears, ready to attack them. Alex, remembering their earlier truce, tries to reason with the cat, explaining that if they escape, the witch will no longer torment anyone, including the cat. The cat hesitates but ultimately steps aside, allowing them to grab the key. Alex and Yazmin head for the door the witch uses. As they unlock it, they find themselves standing in a mysterious, dark forest. Before they can fully escape, the witch begins to wake up. Will they make it out in time, or will the witch's magic pull them back into her clutches? Stay tuned to find out how this thrilling story concludes. Latasha explains to Alex that the real witch is a monstrous being who preys on children and that she, Latasha, has been keeping the witch asleep by telling it stories. Latasha reveals that when she was a child, she managed to escape the witch's clutches by earning its trust, slipping a sleeping potion into its food and fleeing. However, when she returned to her home, she discovered her parents had moved away, leaving her utterly alone. With nowhere else to go, she came back to the witch's house and has since been using its magic to stay young and keep it dormant. She confesses that she was the girl who left messages in the library books, trying to help other trapped children like Alex and Yazmin. As Latasha recounts her story, the real witch begins to stir, causing the house to shake violently. Latasha panics and tells Alex that the only way to prevent the witch from waking is to tell it a story immediately. However, Alex confesses that he has no story left to tell. Latasha grows desperate and urges him to find inspiration. She asks him why he wanted to burn his stories earlier, hoping it might spark an idea. Alex hesitates but finally reveals the truth. He explains that when he was younger, his stories were a way to escape the sadness and loneliness he felt at home. But over time, he began to feel like his stories weren't good enough, and he became ashamed of them. He thought destroying them would free him from the pressure of living up to his own expectations. Latasha listens intently and tells Alex that his feelings are the foundation for a great story. She encourages him to use his emotions and fears as inspiration to craft a tale powerful enough to lull the witch back into sleep. Gathering his courage, Alex begins to tell a story. The tale he spins is deeply personal, weaving elements of his own experiences with the fantastical setting of the witch's house. He tells of a lonely boy who finds himself trapped in a magical, ever-changing house, forced to tell stories to survive. The boy learns that his stories hold more power than he ever realized, not just to keep a monster at bay, but to connect with others who feel lost and afraid. As Alex's story unfolds, the witch begins to calm. Its stirring subsides and the shaking of the house ceases. By the end of the tale, the witch falls into a deep slumber once more. Latasha breathes a sigh of relief, but Alex is overcome with emotion. He realizes that his stories are not only his strength, but also his way of connecting to the world. With the witch asleep, Latasha tells Alex and Yazmin that this is their best chance to escape. She hands Alex a map of the house she secretly created during her years there, marking a hidden exit that the witch doesn't know about. Before they leave, Latasha says she will stay behind to ensure the witch never wakes again. Alex protests, but Latasha insists, saying it's her responsibility to keep the witch contained. As Alex, Yazmin, and the cat, now revealed to be a former child cursed by the witch, follow the map to the exit, Alex looks back one last time. He silently promises Latasha that he will remember her story and make sure it is never forgotten. The trio finally reaches the forest beyond the house. Though they are free, Alex knows their journey isn't over. With a newfound sense of purpose, he vows to keep writing stories, not just for himself, but to honor those who came before him and to ensure that no child ever feels alone in the dark again. Alex explains that he used to love writing dark and eerie stories, but other kids thought he was strange, and no one wanted to be his friend. Then one day, a boy named Jesma joined his class, and they became close friends. Jesma loved listening to Alex's stories, but after a while, Jesma changed and left Alex, just like everyone else. This made Alex feel like there was something wrong with him. Frustrated and hurt, he decided to burn all his stories and try to change himself. However, before he could, he was abducted by a witch. That's when he met Yazmin, a true friend who stood by him. Hearing this heartfelt story, the real witch wakes up. Her awakening causes the entire house to shake violently, and Yazmin is freed from her cage. Latasha tries her best to stop the witch, but the witch breaks free from her coffin-like shroud. A fierce fight ensues between Latasha and the witch, but the witch proves far too powerful and kills Latasha. Alex and Yazmin quickly escape back into the house. Yazmin uses Natacha's magical perfume to reveal the correct door, and the two enter a hidden building. However, the real witch, now furious, follows them. She captures Yazmin and prepares to devour her. In a desperate attempt to save his friend, Alex starts telling the witch a story. Since stories are the witch's weakness, she becomes captivated and momentarily distracted. Seizing the opportunity, Alex throws the enchanted storybook into a fiery lab nearby. The witch, drawn by her obsession with stories, rushes into the fire to retrieve the book. Alex and Yazmin lock the witch inside the lab. The flames consume her and the witch is destroyed. With the ordeal finally over, Alex, Yazmin, and the enchanted cat return to Alex's home. His parents are overjoyed to see him safe. With Yazmin and the cat by his side, Alex begins writing stories again, now filled with confidence and surrounded by true friends. In the final scene, we see the toys that Natacha had created from the children the witch once trapped. These toys suddenly come to life. A mysterious hand reaches out to touch them. It's Natacha's hand. This reveals that Natacha is still alive. The movie ends on this eerie yet intriguing note. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel for more amazing content.